right, what it do? What it do, man? It's Wednesday. We in June already. Did you know that?
Yeah, I know it. I know it. The rent, they had to pay rent. I know it be in June. Trust me.
That's real, man. That's
Yeah, yeah.
woo.
Hey,
Well,
boy, they came short on the check, boy. They came short on the check. I had to put some, cause I did move. I had to put so much money up real quick, man.
hey man, that was the realest thing I heard all day. Boy, yeah.
Yeah.
The mortgage definitely reminds you what time of the
Right,
year it is.
right.
That's for sure. But welcome back, man. Glad to be back across the bridge. You got your host, Jahmal Rashad. We got Keezy Kool in the building. As always, we're trying to bridge the gap between the lovely Jacksonville, Florida, and the globe. And we are trying to represent as always. So we're bridging that gap. Hit the like button, subscribe, and most importantly, engage, comment. Let us know
Yeah,
how we doing. So
right.
how you feeling, bro? I know we talked about you moving and everything, but how's everything going
I'm
for you?
feeling good, bro. I'm always vibrating high, just daddy day to day. So I'm driving in the car. When I'm coming from the gym, I turn behind me, baby girl crying. It just throws up. So I'm
Oh,
just like, it just throws up a bunch of strawberries and other weird shit. Lately, she been having this stomach bug problem. So I've been on that, tending to my baby girl today, man. That's she a theme. But man, I'm feeling real good other than that, man. I've been really productive. You know what I'm saying? Hit that gym, lifting heavier weights, meeting new people who inspiring me and encouraging me. We just vibing on a different wavelength, you dig? And
yeah.
uh doing my diet thing, how I be eating, got my little teas and everything. Shout out to everybody who making the tea. Just vibrating high, brother. How about yourself? How you living?
Man, I'm blessed, man. I can't complain. My wife and I, we are in let's see, project mode.
Hmm.
So every year we get into project mode. We'll probably do some more posting content actually on the internet.
Yeah.
A lot of people always be interested in the stuff I be doing from project stuff because I'll try
Word.
anything.
Word. Word.
But
Word.
yeah, man, we're kind of in the next phase of project. So my son, of course, 3, and he liked to go to the playground. So I invested in a play set. It should be here soon. So I'm just preparing the backyard. I got to move a garden and just stuff like that. I bought a grill. So I'm gonna be outside this
Word.
summer. And inside, we're doing a half bath, so completely
Mm.
renovating a half bath. So I'll put some pictures up as I start going through it. But I'm gonna be a plumber. I'm gonna be a lawn a guy. I'm gonna be the cook.
Word.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Just doing some projects. So that's what season
yeah,
we're
man.
in.
Y'all take notes on this husband, man. Take notes on this husband right here, man. He's showing y'all boy how to do it. You feel me?
Hey, man,
On
get
how
you
to
some
do it.
tools. Know how to read a manual, and you
Yeah.
good.
And give your woman something to do. Don't let her just sit around and fiddle. Give her something to do, or she get
Hey.
lost in space. For real.
Word. But yeah, man, I'm good, man. My son, he dang near copying everything at this point, so I gotta
Mhm.
be like
Yeah.
very mindful. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy. The new thing is me and his mom will be talking, and he'll be in the room and he'll try to literally repeat what I'm saying. And it's like, dang, I know he's practicing, talking and just engaging, but I'm like, boy, you copying everything. So
Bro,
yeah.
when me and her mama was together, whenever we had a conversation, she just broke it up. She always like, no, stop. She always thought, stop arguing, stop fighting. Like, yo, I remember one time I gave her mama a hug.
Hey,
I
yo.
gave her mama a hug. She broke down crying. Like, I'm like, hey, what's wrong? I don't give her no hug. What's wrong with you? She broke down crying.
Yeah. Yeah. How they interpret like tone and
Right.
everything, right? Like as violence or
Yeah. Yeah.
as anger. So,
You're like when we ain't key, and they
you
think
know,
it's bad. I'm like, man, we having a conversation, man. Go on, go about the business.
hey, you ain't lying, man. No, that's real, man. So
I love it though.
before we get into the show, I'm glad to hear everything going good though. Before we get into the show, we got to bring back across the bridge, right? That's the whole point of this show. And
Right.
again, just connecting people to the city of Jacksonville.
That's
So
right.
theme based, of course, we're about to get into the NBA playoffs, the finals actually.
Right.
But when we think about one of the key players on OKC, did you know that Lou Dort played in the city of Jacksonville in high school?
Mm-mm. I didn't know it.
Lou Dort. So he actually went to, and by the way, he plays on the OKC. What is he, a small forward or a shooting guard? What would you
I
say?
think he played I want to say he played a two. No, no, he
Okay.
played a three. I think Jalen Williams a two. I think he played a three.
He's like a big two, a small
His
four.
positionless. They positionless.
Yeah,
They, they
yeah.
they do everything. So
What I do know is he's a key person on that team,
they got
man.
a linebacker playing basketball for
Ah.
real. Nigga
He,
really a linebacker playing basketball. Nigga big.
he's like Stewart from Detroit Pistons. That's who he remind me of, except he can actually, shoot the
Yeah,
ball.
yeah. Play a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, so but anyway, he actually is from Canada. So he was born in Montreal, Quebec. I never been there. I don't know if I ever go there, but he was
Right.
born there, man, and was a top player. And eventually he was like, man, I need some more competition. And he ends up in Jacksonville, Florida. So his sophomore year, he actually went to Arlington Country Day,
Mm.
ACD. Does that school still exist?
I don't know. I think it do. I don't, but I'm not sure. I ain't really that plugged in on the high school basketball scene, like, especially coming to schools like that. But I don't know. I don't know if I ever even been to that school. I just
That's what
remember
I used to say. Now I would say East Side, East Arlington. So East Arlington is where I resided a lot before I started going to school at Paxton. So the one thing I can't recall ever seeing is Arlington Country Day. So that always trips me out because I was always around like Terry Parker and things of that
right,
nature.
right.
But I don't know if I've ever seen Arlington Country Day, but I believe it's a small school.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
That's
they
small.
always had some ballers, man. I ain't gonna hold
Always, yeah, yeah. I remember that part. I remember
they
that part.
always had some ballers. So he ended up going to Arlington Country Day, wanted some competition, made it to college, of course, and went undrafted and had to work his way to OKC. And now he's a key piece on the championship team. So I just wanted to shout him out and just shout out these connections from the city of Jacksonville and how it was just a beautiful city with a lot of great talent.
The
So
talent here is in sports. Football and basketball has always been amazing, bro. It's just this one of them cities where like the streets can get in the way. You know what I'm saying? Or just the city can get in the way of people. But I think I remember at one point in time, I think when we was in high school, and I don't know if it's still true, and I want to do something across the bridge, shot in our Reigns one of these days, but
let's
I
do it.
think I think Reigns had the most NFL talent put in high school out of every school in the country at one point in time. I think they had like 50 something players back in the day. So shout out to Reigns.
I mean, what's his name? Dawkins,
Yeah, B Dog.
Brian Dawkins. I
I
mean,
think Lito Shepard. I think
yeah,
he
Leo
went there.
Shepard, Jabbar Gaffney.
Gavin with the ball. You know,
Okay.
them niggas still be beefing in the city to this day. Like
Oh yeah.
a few years ago, them boys on the news together, like beefing, like wilding, like some crazy.
Who? Who you talking about?
Lito Shepard and Jabbar Gaffney.
Oh, dang.
The Reigns and Reebok rivalry. Them boys is old retired players on the news beefing.
That
Stupid.
that is what it is. As long as they don't go nowhere crazy, that's always going to be a battle. Stanton Paxton, it ain't the same, but
Yeah, yeah,
it,
yeah,
it's always that.
yeah.
Um, yeah, man. So shout out to all the talent. I would love to talk about that one day, man. We just continue to talk about the city,
Right.
which we'll probably get into today. But man, today's a special episode for sure. So this is our 20th episode, man.
20.
How crazy is that? 20th
Time be
episode.
flying, bro. Time fly. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't slowing down, man. Velocity is real.
Yeah, so I mean I'll talk about this probably later, but just maximizing time, boy. You just gotta do it. That's
You
something I
gotta do
definitely.
it, bro. You gotta
So with
do
that
it.
being said, 20 years ago will be the theme. So we'll talk about a lot of things that happened 20 years ago. But before we get into that, man, did you call this OKC, Indiana Pacers,
Not at the beginning of the playoffs, I did. Not at the
NBA
beginning.
Finals? Did you see this
Not
happening?
at the beginning. Not at the beginning. No, 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 no.
So we
But it's
got
so
game
crazy though,
one.
because of what we spoke about. One of the combo we had around the Luca trade, what we got now with the small markets. Like
Yeah,
this
we
is,
did.
like I said, this is very, very key. It's gonna be very telling. And I think the NBA needs to. I think they broadcast this on ABC, and they need to do a good job marketing this and trying to push this and get odds. I think we're gonna see some real good basketball. I believe that. But I'm also seeing social media. A lot of people tell me they don't want to see it. I'm like, because of the stars and everything. I'm like, bro, we finna see some good basketball. You know what I'm saying? Good coaching, good teams about to play. It's not, SGA not really a superstar yet. He an all-star talent, but as far as superstars go, he's not a person. If your mom or somebody see him on TV, they gonna know who he is, right? LeBron James, Luke, and them guys like that, it ain't really I'm a superstar in the league. But if I say Cy Glade, that's basketball people. Your girl ain't gonna know who that is. You know what I'm saying? But this could be one of them moments. I think Halliburton might be more popular because of that song. What the Halliburton? You know what I'm talking about? What the hell? You know what I'm talking about? It's a song that's
Oh
very,
yeah,
very.
what? Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah,
be saying, "What the Halliburton?"
yeah.
Right? So I think Halliburton might be the most popular player in this series. Keep it a buck in the country. So I just think this is a good opportunity to make two new stars in the NBA, SGA and Halliburton. Man, take it to the next level.
Yeah. So just for context, for people who may not know, the NBA Finals kicks off tomorrow. We got the Oklahoma Thunder. Let me say that again,
Mhm.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma,
Right. We got the Oklahoma Thunder versus the Indiana Pacers
and ain't nobody go vacation in there. Ain't nobody go to check that out.
for the NBA Finals. At
Word.
least it's not winter, so I'm assuming Indiana isn't cold right now. I know I woke up the other day and it was 50 degrees here in North Carolina. I was like,
Ooh
what the
wee,
heck?
ooh wee,
So
ooh wee.
yeah, I don't know what the weather like, but I've never been to Indiana and I've never been to Oklahoma, but they
Mm-hmm.
are representing the NBA Finals. I definitely would go. They're
Mm-hmm.
they're representing the NBA Finals and that kicks off tomorrow. You've already kind of alluded to it, man. Like, in your opinion, SGA is not a superstar. Uh, and you're calling Halliburton, he is a superstar, but
No, I'm
who you
saying he's
got
not a
coming out?
superstar either. He's not either. I'm just sitting there saying he may be closer just because he is in the news more for different things. That's kind of a superstar thing too. Like if you doing stuff outside of the game, right? So the fact that they saying what the Halliburton is his daddy on the court cussing out Giannis. I think he was on Team USA, right? It was SGA. He hooping. He the
Canada.
shit. Right, Canada, right, same thing. And he be on the commercials, and I like the commercials because he have his whole team on it. I think it's one of them, whatever the product is, but I don't know if you've seen it yet. But his whole team, they be clean, they be dressed real fresh, and all of them in the commercial together. So I like that.
Yeah.
But I don't think Halliburton even have many commercials. So it's just, it's just a good. The NBA got a good thing. They just do it right, and I don't feel like this will be one of them series where referees because there's no agenda, right? I don't like this is a series where there's an agenda to make somebody something, right? Because in there, like you just said, it's OKC and Indiana. We not finna look at SGA or Halliburton. We not finna argue them about being the goats. I don't even know if SGA is signed. I don't know if anyone of them signed with Nike. I think SGA got his own shoe brand with some own little off brand type thing going on, right? So you know, wide
Yeah, I mean,
open.
I think this fits the narrative of America, right? Like, when you think about NBA basketball and the machine behind it, so just thinking about like when Allen Iverson was the superstar, right? Like, they wanted to change his image, or the Latrell Sprewells, you know, the Kevin Garnett's, those type of individuals, Rasheed Wallace's.
Yeah,
Uh, you kind of knew it wasn't exactly what they wanted to market, but ultimately they were the superstars. I think with Halliburton and SGA, they fit the mold of, like you said, there isn't necessarily a narrative because they fit it.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
they
They
fit,
clean cut.
yeah. Like,
Yeah.
it's hard to, if it's LeBron, they're gonna bring up whatever. If it's whoever, right? Um, But in this,
The shit I showed you with Ant Man today.
yeah, with Ant-Man, it's yeah, it's
Baby
that
mama
type of
drama.
stuff. We're not gonna buy your shoes because
Right. You was hate shit father. That's crazy.
so I think, and again, it's Indiana and it's Oklahoma, you know what I'm saying?
But you
So
keep saying that, so I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, I wonder, are these two red states? You know what's going on with the country. I'm like, is Indiana, Oklahoma City, that could be the aim. Like, get the Republicans up here. Let's put it on blast. Like, make this money for the red states. You never know what. I'm just talking really, but
here you go with you.
I'm trying to figure out what the angle is. Always, I gotta figure out what's the angle. What's the
Oh
angle? What
my
they doing?
gosh.
I can't just let it breathe. It can't just breathe with me, bro.
Yeah, so it's a unique opportunity, but I do think SGA is a superstar. And to your point, right? Like maybe we don't necessarily live in the spaces that they live, but like I think about my wife, right? She don't watch no sports outside of like watching it with me. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like she could tell you, she'll still fumble like, is that a fullback or a wide receiver? Like she don't know the sport, but she'll tell me who the player is.
Mm.
And I'm like, how the heck do you know? You want to know how she knows?
Shade
Their
room.
wives, their
Should I
girlfriends.
say shade room type shit? Yep.
Like, no, like Instagram,
Right.
like who she follows.
Mm-hmm.
Like one day she shot me, she knew who AJ Green was. And I'm like, because we watching the Jaguars versus Cincinnati, and she knew who AJ Green was. It was because she follows or at least seen his wife on Instagram or something like that. So
Mm.
I look at it the same way with SGA, like his partner, and women who are gravitating towards her follow him and know who he is outside of that. And then also fashion. He seems to be
Yeah, he
somebody
is in that. He is in that fashion space.
who's in the fashion world, and that goes way beyond,
Right. Right.
what I'm into.
Right. Right. Right.
So those two components, and then lastly, being from Canada, right? Like playing on the Canada team, having that global approach. I actually think he is a superstar, just maybe not in the context that I would perceive it.
He a
So
superstar talent for sure, right? But it may be like you said. Maybe people do know who he is. I just wouldn't assume, but maybe you're right. Shoot, you know.
yeah. But let's talk about who you got and why. So game one starts tomorrow at 8:30. It appears games will be every 2 or 3 days, so they'll try to drag this on as long as possible. But who you got coming out the series, but who you got taking game one?
I can't remember the breakdown. Or if it's like the game is if it's 2-2-1-1-1. Is that the breakdown, or is it 2-3-2?
Yeah,
How it was? Is it two
two
three
two
two?
one one one.
Okay, if it's 2-2-2, I'm going to Pacers in six. I'm picking the Pacers regardless, but I definitely feel better picking them in six, winning at home than winning. 'Cause I think they definitely don't have home court. And I'm picking the Pacers, man. I think offense in this space in basketball a lot, man. They got an offense where everybody can shoot, everybody can score. I think this gonna really test the limits of that OKC defense. Because like we were just saying with the superstar thing, there's like if you key on Halliburton, which you really don't want to do, Siakam gonna do his thing, right? The rest of that team can get hot. The Pacers can put up 160 points on you out of nowhere. If they start hitting threes, it's a wrap. I think Hartenstein gonna have a problem this series because he actually has a guard, a center now outside of the paint. Miles Turner be trailing. We already seen that Halliburton can get past anybody. He got past Giannis, which was this wild. Me and really made me look at him in a different light. The way he got past Giannis for that game winning layup. And he, like I said, he the closest thing to a pure point guard, a throwback point guard we have in the NBA right now. I always like those type of point guards. He can get 30 if he need to, but he really gonna be deadly if he giving you 17, 11, 18, 12, stuff like that. There. Um, I think it's gonna be a real battle. I think Rick Carlisle gonna be the difference from the coaching standpoint. I got a feeling he gonna out coach this young dude.
What's his
Um,
name?
I don't even know his fucking name. I don't even know his goddamn name. I don't know is it. Nah, Adam, and that's the dude from the Nuggets. So y'all know what the dude name is. But I just think Carlisle gonna out coach him. I think that it's gonna be too many points going up consistently, and continuously from the Pacers. And I don't think that OKC gonna be able to really keep up. I think we gonna see it go back to SGA doing everything.
See, man, like it sound good. Like you be having the people food, right? Like you come on here, you got all this great analysis, right? Like you really breaking down the game and why such and such gonna do this and do that. And it be wrong, man. Like it's so crazy how like I mean I'm sitting back, I'm like, man, he almost sold me, man, on that tape. But then it's wrong. And here's why. We can look at past evidence. Are you aware of the Fibonacci sequence?
Oh.
Basically, the two previous numbers added together equal the next number, right? So the two previous numbers, so one plus one equals two,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, one plus two equals three. So the two previous numbers equal that preceding number or next number. So let's look at the past two sequences, right?
Okay.
So since you like data, 132 to 111, Oklahoma. And this is in the regular season of this past season, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they played twice, 132 to 111.
Mm-hmm.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, 33 points, 31 minutes. Lou Dortz, shout out to Lou Dortz, right? Who we were just talking about, ACD representative, 22 points, 33 minutes. Isaiah Joe, 19 points, 27 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Williams, 18 points, 29 minutes. Carlson Wallace, 14 points, 30 minutes. So that's just one game. All right. You like stats, right? So let's talk about the other stats. What did this Pascal Siakam, who you said just gonna take over the game, if Halliburton ain't doing that, he gonna do something? 11 points,
Mm-hmm.
27 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Tyrese Halliburton, 18 points. This is the assist man, right?
Mm-hmm.
Three assists,
Mm-hmm.
29, 29 minutes. So when I hear you rattle off, you know what I'm saying, this great take, quality take, evidence, the evidence that I see just don't represent it. What I see is a team that has 10 people deep, similar to the Pacers, but that play defense at the highest level that we've seen, not only in the playoffs, but throughout the regular season. And again, they have a superstar, SGA, who from past evidence is gonna drop 30 points, right? And his team, he has a team of people who now has the experience, right? They've now gone and won three series back to back to back over dominant teams, and they made it look easy. And I believe they're gonna do the same thing with the Indiana Pacers, and that's my take.
We gonna see, man. Like I think it's a toss up. I wouldn't really argue in things like that. All I would say is I think the Pacers have played the tougher competition. I don't think OKC ain't seen nothing like this. They haven't. They saw once again the Grizzlies. They had the Grizzlies the first round. Second round, they saw Denver, who just fired their coach, right? And then you go to damn Timberwolves, which is a good team, but like I sat down and said, that matchup of having Gobert, who really just offensively does nothing, it kind of play into the favor of just you being able just to pack that paint where they can't pack the paint. So I'm interested in seeing how they gonna respond to it, right? If they come out there and still do their thing, then it is what it is. But with them, uh who I'm finna say, the Pacers, they kind of just seeing something similar as far as the way the game is played with the Knicks. Brunson and SGA play the same brand of basketball. They point guards who gonna shoot, who gonna put. So they just tell you that they can beat that, and they also a great defensive team with a coach who just got his ass fired because of the BS that he be pulling on the court by not getting deep. So that's the thing with them. Then they came in, who they upset the Cavs, right? They play the Cavs, they beat the Cavs, and then they beat Giannis. So I'm just sitting there saying they battle tested, they ready. They beat Giannis, they beat the number one seeded Cavs, and they beat the Knicks. I think them boy ready to go, man. And I'm giving it to them in six.
Man, Sometimes I feel like you play both sides of the fence or you argue against yourself. But
I didn't argue against myself that time.
so you named the Milwaukee Bucks, right?
I named Giannis.
Where is Ja Morant on the same tier as far as
No,
Giannis? No? Okay.
no, hell to the no.
All right, so he's fallen off completely then.
I mean, shit, Giannis a two-time MVP, the MVP champion, and the Finals MVP. Y'all ain't been to the. No, hell no. He want to shoot guns and shit.
Okay. Okay. And Jalen Brunson is Giannis on Giannis level?
No, I'm saying as far as scoring, I compare him to SGA. Them two point guards who getting 30. They shooting. I ain't comparing. I'm just sitting there comparing. They play Giannis in the Bucks versus playing the damn Grizzlies who getting beat by 40 and 50 and 60 points. Like you feel what I'm
I think the
saying?
Grizzlies would have beat uh the no Damian Lillard. The way that
Yeah.
Milwaukee Bucks team was looking, I think Memphis would have beat them. But
We
anyway,
I ain't gonna waste my time arguing that nonsense. Maybe I don't even care. I don't want to see the Grizzlies do anything. Screw the Grizzlies. Like I don't give a damn about the
all
Grizzlies
right, so
right
this
now.
is personal then.
No, they just trash. They just a trash basketball team. Man, get them out of here.
Oh my gosh.
Get
All
them out
right,
of
so
here.
you got the Pacers
And six.
and you also believe OKC will beat them. So that's what I'm hearing from you.
Huh?
You said you wouldn't argue my
Yeah,
point
I'm
that
saying like I'm not gonna sit here and have a not. It's really a toss up. Like it's not like
that's what I'm
it's
saying.
not.
It sounds like you playing both sides of the fence.
Nah, it's not like we got OKC versus the damn. All right, put it like this. It's not like the Pacers versus the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? And if you can't tell the Lakers, I sit there like you out your damn mind because the Lakers wasn't a championship team as I told you, right? But
But if they make it
OKC,
to the championship, you
I'm saying, what if the OKC is the number one team? So I'm pretty much going with the upset. I'm going to upset, so I'm not gonna say you go to upset. You can't sit here and say, "Oh, you crazy for picking OKC." No, you going with a favorite. I'm going with underdog.
all right, man. All right, man. So
Pacers in six, man.
I'm going with who I believe will win the series. That's who I'm going with.
Yeah,
Underdog, overdog. Who do I think will win the games to win the championship? I believe it'll be OKC. You're saying Pacers are the underdog, so that's who you're going with. That's what I'm hearing.
I'm going with them because I think that they offensively are gonna be able to outdo them. But what I'm
Okay.
saying is, so you can get it one more time. I wouldn't get into a knockdown argument with anybody who picked OKC because they're the favorite.
I just want to make sure it's because when we come back to this, I know you'll find a way to play both sides of the fence. But all right,
How many games you got them winning in?
6.
Okay, so you got them winning it. You got them winning it on the Pacers floor.
No, OKC has home court advantage.
Yeah, but game six is gonna be in
Oh
Indiana.
wait, let's
That's
see.
why I'm picking them in six.
Two.
Game seven gonna be in OKC. Hey, you'll like this one out.
Yeah, I got you. So all right, I got you. I see why you're looking at it from where will game 6 be?
Right.
Cool beans. Well, we'll see. Game 1 is tomorrow. That'll tell the story.
8:30.
And then I'm gonna circle right back to you when the game ends.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
OKC probably gonna beat the shit out of them game one. Gonna beat the shit out of them game one. But it's a series. It's a series. Oh, that crowd gonna be it's gonna be good, man. Cause both of them crowds, like that's one thing about it, bro. Like I'm looking forward to this so much cause both of them crowds be turned. Indiana's definitely a basketball town. OKC, that's how they got. So they gotta be a basketball town, right? Besides Oklahoma Sooner. And I don't think they even in the Sooner, they like in Norman, Oklahoma or some shit like that, man. So
Yeah.
I'm just looking forward to a great, and like I said, no narrative, no agenda being pushed. It's just gonna be what it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? I don't see some good shit on TV, bro.
Yeah. I think one of the key things it highlights that I've been seeing going around, they said it's the Paul George effect. So
Mm.
what's your take on that? The fact that Paul George was considered a superstar on these teams that they
Yeah.
traded away for a valuable amount of assets, as we can see, and now they both ended up in the finals. What's your take on that?
I think people I don't shit on Paul George. I think these it's really an indictment against some of these GMs who make these dumbass trades because Paul George was not the same player after his injury. He got no, like he lost a lot of explosiveness when he messed his leg up in that Olympics and that shit came apart down there. He lost a lot of his explosiveness. He barely even be dunking. This boy used to be doing windmill 360 dunks, and now he just laying up and everything like that. So when I seen all these teams trading for him, after he was saying what he was saying stuff like, "Yo, I'm not a number one. I'm not a guy who can carry a team to the championship by myself." Like you ain't hear people saying stuff like that. So not an indictment against Paul George, more against these GMs and a lot of the players in the league say he their favorite player. He got the most skill, he got the most bad. So they believe in something about Paul George that I just know it could be there. Yeah, yeah, bro. Like a lot of them players be saying he got the deepest bag, he the most skilled player in the league. They did the poll. They love Paul George. So maybe the GMs do too. But I'm just sitting there saying if the Clippers had SGA, oh my gosh, bro, that should be so nasty. But he down here and got doggone OKC doing his thing. So I don't give a damn about Paul George.
Man, I was trying to process the fact that people say he is their GOAT and he has the biggest bag. That's what
Bro,
you
a
say?
lot of the players in the league, they love Paul George, bro. Them, yeah, they love him. They love Paul George. They
Yeah,
be saying he the most skilled player in the league and all that shit.
most skill. Do you believe that?
No, hell no. I mean, I think they like how his game is smooth. Like he can
Yeah,
stop and go. I think they like
yeah,
that smoothness to it. He
yeah.
stop and go. He can get his shots up. And maybe I mean, I guess maybe they see something that we can't see because we not actually pro basketball players. But when it come down to winning time
I'm
and
watching
doing
the
things,
game.
right, right, right. But I'm sitting there saying, I don't know what they seeing that we not seeing to make them say that, right? But hey, it is what it is. I'm just saying. I know them dudes. I think at the beginning of the season, they love Paul George, bro. So maybe the GMs fell in love with him too.
Yeah, man. I mean, Paul George is great. He's a great basketball player. A lot of times I think these players get hyped up based on how they perform against LeBron James. So he was somebody,
Yeah, in his case, that definitely was true. In his case,
yeah, he was somebody where you were thinking like, oh, he's about to stop LeBron James. It just never happened, you know what I'm saying? But you thought it. You were like, oh, this dude is gonna take over LeBron James with Indiana, and just it never actually happened. And that's when he gets injured. Man, thinking about that, Halliburton is like the first star playing for Indiana that hasn't gotten injured. Most people, stars that they have get some type of serious injury, right?
yeah,
Like I thought Victor Oladipo was going to be like the next dude, and he had that weird injury
yeah, yeah, yeah.
with the Pacers, and all of a sudden, so the Pacers always been around. They just usually get these weird injuries, and that's kind of derailed that franchise.
Or
But
they go, or they go fighting fans in the stands.
I mean, that was a one-time thing. I remember I was in my room, man.
That's 20. I was saying that was 20 years ago.
That
That
was
was
20 years
2000.
ago?
That was 20 years. That was 2004.
Okay.
It was like November 19th or 2004, 2005. I remember that shit. I was in with my daddy. Boy, I'm sitting there. That might be one of the events we said, boy, that shit changed everything.
Oh man.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, I was in my bed, man, watching that game. Cause did this happen after halftime?
It happened at the end of you talking about the fight?
Yeah.
It happened at the end of the game. The game was
Yeah,
over
because I
damn near.
I think I went to bed at halftime, bro. So I'm just like, whatever. I woke up and we didn't have Twitter and all that back then,
Right.
but I woke up and I was like, this happened in the same game. I was like, that was crazy.
That was crazy,
But
bro.
yeah, that's Ron Artest boy. He wasn't nothing to play with. Steven
All them
Jackson,
boys.
they had the right one.
Jermaine O'Neal, all of them.
They had the right ones.
Right.
Um, Man, we done got way off of the game. But yeah, man, I think OKC gonna pull this off. I think it'll be big for the league. Hopefully, both of them can change the narratives around the league just as far as like what
Yeah.
people talk about on a
Yeah.
day-to-day basis and bring some excitement back.
It's big for the NBA, man. It's big for them.
Word, man. So 20 years, man. 20 years ago. It's crazy to think about time. We just talked about time to start the show, but 20 years ago, man, I mean, it feels like 5 years ago. It's hard to think 20 years ago is actually 20 years
20
ago.
years, dog.
But that was freshman year of high school. Freshman year of high school, man. My memory isn't as good as yours. Do you remember the first day of school?
I remember the first day of school because I met you the first day of school. I met you was the first person I met.
Okay.
So I remember how the shit played out, bro. Because I'm gonna tell you how it was, right? I walked into the we was in biology class. I walked in biology class, right? I saw you sitting down. You had a cast in your leg and all that shit. I walked right past you and went to the back of the class. I'm like, I'm that kind of nigga. I'm sitting in the back of the classroom, right? So I'm sitting there looking around, thinking, I'm like, boy, here we go at this shit. I'm looking at all the people coming in, a bunch of white people come in, no niggas coming in. Bunch of white people coming in, no more niggas. So so I'm sitting there looking, I was like, you know what? Come from down there cooked me. I'm like, you know what? I done seen this shit before. I got up, I moved, I said right by you. I said, I'm not gonna be the only nigga in the back with the other black person here in the front. And then the girl Thea came in, she knew you, so y'all sat together. You know, she said she's minority, she cultured, right? So I'm like, man, no, I'm about to sit by this nigga. And we sit down, you sit down, we just start talking, just start vibing, which I think is getting to know you. That's not how you really operate. You be an asshole to a lot of people, but me and you just click to start vibing. You had the cast on your feet. And shit, I knew you was cool because you already know for to say when you know who walked in that door.
Oh yeah, Miss
Miss
Smith.
Smith walked in that door with that ball, with that wagon behind him. Me and you look, me and you look, and we look at each other like, boy, what is going on here? What is going on here?
Yeah. Man, I'm trying to think. I had a cast on what?
You had a cast on your leg. You had hurt your leg in the sport, something.
Hmm.
You had a brace or some shit on your leg. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
The leg or your arm, one of them, and then
yeah, I only
you
remember having a cast on my arm before when I
maybe it was arm, maybe it was arm. But you had something on. 'Cause I know you start when you got in the football field, you couldn't immediately play. Like you couldn't play in practice immediately or something like because you ain't come to the summer workouts and all that shit like that. You came out later on. So yeah. That's what I remember first day of school, bro. I remember
yeah,
meeting your ass.
I stayed too far to do them summer workouts, boy.
Them shits was live. Them shits was live, boy.
Yeah.
That freshman year, some with '05, them ball them big old nigga Aubrey and Matt Watson. Nigga had them running that cross country shit, boy. That shit wasn't no joke. That shit wasn't no joke.
Hey, Matt Watson was so fast to me when I came to high school. I was like, dang, this how fast these dudes are. I was like, I don't
Bro,
know.
think about 20 years, bro. '05, it was like '05 and '06 was like the big high school people. Like you see
Yeah,
stuff on movies and shit. You see
the
these
regular.
dudes, them niggas was big. They all had beards and everybody grown. I mean, we had like a little brawl, freshman versus everybody, and these niggas were putting Journey in the trash can, Big Fred, putting them boys in the trash can, all that. We sitting there, we love niggas, like love for real. So
Man, that made me think about Dangerous Minds. You ever seen that movie?
mm,
Man, Dangerous Minds is what made me think of what high school was. I don't know where it was. It had to be somewhere Midwest, West Coast. But basically, it was like a gang infested high school, right? Like
mm,
it was, it was just beef on site type of thing. Like real stuff was happening. And it was like a white lady who came in as a substitute teacher, and that she got like one of the worst classes. So that
mm,
like everybody was just wild in there, but eventually she got respect, turned it around.
of
But throughout
course.
the movie, you was seeing like what was going down in high school, and I was like, "That's high school," you know what I'm saying? So that tripped me out, man. It wasn't like that at our school, but
I do another thing I do remember first day of school. Kind it ain't like wasn't like that, but I do remember walking down the 10th grade hall and just seeing like a very intense makeout session going on, like right in the hallway. And I know who the culprits was too, but I ain't gonna say their name, of course. But I'm like, boy, I stopped and looked like, damn, boy, they must be in love with each other. These two niggas, they were going at it on the lockers. I'm like, boy, what we done walked into over here at Passive? I'm not happy I chose Passive for real.
word. Yeah, my home high school was Sandalwood. So all I could think of is like, man, I could be home at 2:15.
Mm.
That's what I used to say to myself all the time, man. Like, I didn't get home till what, 7? Give or
Jeez.
take football practice or whatever it is, then got to drive all the way back to my side of town.
Word.
Well, that used to be a long day, man. So I always wondered, like, man, if I could be home at 2:15, man, like I get 4 or 5 hours back in my day.
Word.
But
Word.
the only thing I really remember fresh my at least maybe my first day, I want to say I had a Knicks jacket on because my dad had this classic Knicks jacket, man, and I wore it till like the stitching fell off. To eventually my mom gave it away because if you put something in this pocket, it'll drop through to the ground.
Word. Word.
But that
Word.
that 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 jacket was so hard, man. But I feel like I had that. I had just started growing my fro because I was in Philadelphia for the summer. I went to this St. Joseph basketball camp, so I feel like I was in Philadelphia for like a month or two. Um, but basically, I was growing my hair, so I had a fro. That was different for me from me. And then I ain't know nobody. Like I knew people from James Weldon, but it was like people from Darnell, people from this school, people from that school. Like it was just so much going on. And I had contacts. I don't know if you remember, I was wearing them
Yeah.
contacts at the time. So I just felt like nobody could see me, but I could see everybody.
Yeah.
So it was just one of them type of things. I was just observing the situation. I remember going down those middle stairs back and forth and just seeing like what girls, was at the school and who was looking me in my eyes. And I was like, all right, it's game time. So
Right. 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 Right.
that's probably one of the biggest things I remember. And of course, running into you, and Miss Smith, man, Miss Smith. Shout out to you, Miss Smith.
That,
That was a heck of an experience having
that
you in
was a
my
dizzy. She was a dizzy ass lady, boy. She had that thing thinking,
yeah.
swinging on her, boy, for real.
That was a crazy experience. So
Yeah. Biology class. What?
yeah, you before we touch on some big things from year 20, you said you glad you went to Paxton. What was your home high school, and why are you so happy you made that choice?
First coast. I wasn't never going first coast. I wasn't going there because growing up, I grew up over there on Dunn, but everything I did as far as extracurricular activities and my first school, I went to all black school on Andrew Robinson. So everything I did was like pretty much out east or Northwest Jackson. So if I didn't go to Patterson, I was going to Jackson. And if I went to Jackson, don't tell me what would happen in my life, how I would have went. I had cousins over there who were street niggas and family grew up over there. So I don't tell them what would happen. You know what I'm saying? There's been a different environment, all type of different shit going on. Um, the hood chicks used to like always give me a little more play than the preppy girls type shit. You know what I'm saying? So I probably had babies galore, some shit going to Jackson. I ain't gonna even cap. You know what I'm saying? So but man, I just tell that all the time, bro. Pat, I had so much fun, bro. Like the amount of fun we had, I think that prepared us for the world for real. Dealing with all the different cultures, you got white, Asian, and everybody. It's really how real life is, you know. But man, I had hella fun, bro. Like every day, freshman, especially freshman and sophomore year, we was wilding, but I wilded out the whole way through. Like I just had a ball that passing, man. That's one experience I never like live down or forget, trade. All my same friends from high school, like everybody. If I see anybody from school, I saw it today. I saw Jason Sablon today. I saw him you
Jason.
remember him?
Yeah,
Sablon,
he was
oh
in
six,
'07,
oh six. I
'06.
saw him today. I've been seeing him a lot lately too. I see him. What's up? I see all the homies. You know what I'm saying? It's always all love, unless somebody's acting weird with me, right? And then all right, it's fuck it, But other than that, man, passion is just love, bro. It's just love, bro. I had a good ass time, dog. Good ass time.
Yeah. I don't know if I told you, but like right after we talked about Griffin, I saw him.
Word.
See that?
I don't think you told me that. I don't know. Did you
Okay.
tell me that? I don't know.
Yeah, we went to Orsay, I think it's called. You been there before?
Or say no.
Well, it's in like Avondale, Riverside.
Yeah.
But we went there for happy hour, man. Hey, shout out to that spot. That's a spot in
Or say. I'm
Jacksonville.
gonna check that place out. Check it
Oh
out.
yeah, and especially if you go for happy hour, man. Like it was a great vibe. I mean, me and my wife had an awesome time.
Word.
But
Okay.
the table to the right of us, because it started to get packed, I didn't even realize he dropped something to our table. I don't maybe it was like the bread or something. I can't remember. And it didn't click because I wasn't paying attention. But the people sitting next to us, he came and he was serving. I'm just like, I just happened to look up and I just recognized it's him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, it just caught me off guard. I'm like, man, we was just talking about this dude. and now he's right here. So I let him do his thing. But the next time he came back, I was like, "Yo, what's up, Griffin?" He still we had like a 10-minute conversation
Yeah, yeah.
right
You gonna
there at
you
the
gonna talk to Griffin. You
table.
gonna talk to Griffin. You gonna talk to him.
I was like, yeah. I mean, I was like, damn, I'm messing up this man's job. Like he was sitting there talking to me for a minute.
Griffin don't
But
care.
yeah, man, it's always love. I'm always gonna show love or say what's up if I see
Definitely.
anybody I come across. But yeah, man, Paxson, it really came down to when I went on tour. I went to
Yeah,
Stanton,
that's all, bro.
and I was just like, nah.
Nah,
I mean, my sister was a senior my freshman year, so that was an incentive, right? But when I went to Stan, I'm like, it just didn't fit me. Like it didn't fit my
wasn't it?
vibe. It was more to me, it was more Darnell and Paxton was more James Weldon in my eyes. So it just aligned with like what I wanted to do. But I am grateful my parents kind of pushed me in that direction. I don't necessarily know what it would have been like to go to Stanton. I mean, Sandalwood. Again, it was right around the corner. I could have been home at 2:15, anything. I could have got into anything, but being able to go to the other side of town across the bridge, literally, I thought it just gave me a wide variety of the city, right?
Right,
Like growing
right.
up in my own little area, I kind of knew my section, but then being able to go to the what would that be called? The north side?
It's like the West. I mean, you ain't talk too about. I consider that shit the West Side. But
West Side, but
yeah,
basically over by Paxton
right.
and be able to build relationships and maneuver and do things over there. It just opened me up and made me a little bit more well-rounded, and I took that into my life. So,
Yeah, me too though. Cause I was one area of town. Like I said, I grew up on Dunn. My mama had me at so I grew up on Dunn. She got me playing all my sports in the hood. Like I'm playing on 45th Scott Park. I'm about to go playing Cuckoo Park before they got shut down for a bunch of legal activity. I'm
yeah.
playing over there at like at Sherwood over there, like whatever this little park where I played T-ball at. I'm going to Boys and Girls Club on the east side, getting jumped and shit, like all type of little weird shit going on. Cause my mama decided to put me from Dunn Ave in the middle of the hood with all these people, bro. Like without my cousins and shit. So that's why I would have just felt more comfortable even going up on Dunn. I don't know a lot of people in my own neighborhood, except like next door neighbor and all his homies. But yeah, man. So passion is passion. Passion is love, bro.
Man, you bringing back so many memories, man. Like again, I played in Arlington, so all of our best matchups were typically Cuckoo Park.
Yeah,
Those used to be some fun matchups. We used to play like I forget what they're called, Lee Bulls or not Lee
yeah. These
Bulls.
Bulls of basketball.
One of
Yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah. They beat people ass. These Bulls beating everybody ass.
Yeah, so no, that's what's up. I think I actually played John Brown in AAU basketball.
You
I think
probably
he
played.
played
Yeah,
in
he
Cook
played.
Park.
Yeah, yeah. We all played for the Shepherds. Me and Marvin, we played for the Shepherds at the
Okay.
YMCA on Cleveland Road, and then I think it was another spot too. Yeah, so.
Were y'all good?
Well, we good. The first year we was good because we played in the city championship. First year I played, we played city. We played like Kirby. I can't remember who we played, but we lost. Marvin was always good at
Yeah,
basketball.
that's how I
Marvin
had
was
to say. Well,
hooping.
he was
And a
on the team.
couple other the well known names from the city like them boy played. We were like jits. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I ain't play that much. You know what I'm saying? But I played more than next year because that my first year. The first year we went to city championship. That my first year playing basketball. So I remember like going on top. I remember like you got a layup line. So you got to do layups. You got to shoot the jumpers. I used to always just shoot layups. I ain't never try to shoot no jump. Like they like shoot the J Markel. All
Why?
right, huh?
Why?
I didn't know what the fuck a J was. I just kept like just doing the layup. I made the layup jump. I'm missing. You know what I'm saying? So fuck a jump. I'm shooting the layup. You know what I'm saying? So,
Oh
yeah,
man, that's how
it's
you
all
get
good.
better, man.
It was a little different upbringing, bro. Different upbringing.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, I never really took like I guess rec ball seriously. I was more of a street baller. So
yeah,
like playing in the streets, playing at the park, that was where I felt like most comfortable to like turn up. But like being in rec ball where it's like politics and systems, I like to just go off chemistry and vibes and just attacking and playing hard defense versus in rec ball, you got referees, you got rules and all that
Yeah,
type of stuff.
sound like a LeBron James fan. That's what you sound like a LeBron James fan. I don't like rules. I want to make up shit as I go. I don't want to play in systems.
It's
I want to
rules in
travel.
street ball. It's
I want
rules
to
in street
travel.
ball. I'm talking
Yeah,
about how you call SGA the free throw bandit, right?
yeah,
You can literally create a foul and go to the free throw line and score points versus earning your basket. So
yeah. That's
that's
what I
what I'm
mean.
talking
Street
about.
ball. You been not calling no damn foul back in them days.
What I'm saying, you're not playing basketball to get a foul. You're playing basketball to score a bucket. So that's
I
what
feel
I'm
you.
talking about, like actually playing the game versus manipulating the game.
I feel
But
you.
either way, I play AAU basketball, but I just didn't never take that as seriously as I did as if we playing on the streets. Um, 20 years ago, man, you mentioned a big event. I'm gonna mention three. Let me know what your thoughts are. So in 2005, YouTube was established, man. We are currently using YouTube right now, right, to do our own show, and this came out 20 years ago. What's your take on YouTube coming
YouTube was the shit back then.
out?
Like we ain't know they don't wipe so many videos off YouTube, bro. But YouTube, they had everything on there. Now I would have never imagined it being what it was. Matter of fact, we got a video on that shit from way back then somewhere because Ishmael,
We?
lad, yeah, me and you was booming. We trying to boom each other. And I think that got it. That got it. It's on there still somewhere like oh
In
six
the
oh seven.
cafeteria.
Yeah, the cafeteria, 0607. That junk still on there. So like, wait, I boom with your ass. That shit on there. You gonna find that bitch. I be doing well, well out your ass, nigga. Yeah, this shit facts, right?
Man, you weigh probably like 30, 40 more pounds.
Yeah.
It took you a
Whatever,
long time to do that.
whatever. You got boomed.
Okay.
Then Ishmael got us on there again when we with the fam, acting like complete idiots, and he can't never get rid of the damn. That's either on Facebook or YouTube. When we with the fam that time, with Wild and Out, he got that on there. So they ain't never really know like around that time you realize, oh, this shit forever. You put it on the internet, this shit can last forever. So at a very young age, you kind of aware, like, all right, be careful. Let's navigate this thing the right way. I ain't had no digital camera, so I really wasn't in '05 wasn't putting that on, but YouTube is crazy. '05, seeing what it's become now and what we doing now on it, right? Making money and all type of shit, you know.
Man, I ain't realized stuff like that. Like, how can you even find stuff like that on YouTube? Like, they just really bury that type of
I
stuff.
just watch the every now and then I go watch the Pats and Stan game. The game we played, I watch the game. I watch it every now and again.
Yeah, I thought I saw that on Dat Lou's profile too.
It's all on that Lou play. He
Okay.
got all that shit up there.
That's funny. Um, Yeah, that's actually pretty crazy. To think about the fact that YouTube, it makes me think about all the other platforms that kind of came out around that time when we were coming through high school and the opportunity we had that we really didn't see. Like I didn't see 20 years down the line, you know what I'm saying?
Come
Versus
on,
now I
man.
try to actually think about, all
Right.
right, 10, 20 years down the line, what could this situation be? How can I take advantage of it? But yeah, that's crazy to think that this type of platform came out back then. We were like right there to witness it and to see what it's evolved to. You know, you got YouTube TV now that most people have. It's actually pretty crazy how you can really create your own platform using this situation, right? And really market products. You can market propaganda, you know, anything, any image that you want to share. I think it's really played a pivotal part in like my extracurricular development, right? So when I think about the importance of it to me is like I can actually go on there and find things that I literally care about and somebody shot the same video based on the question that I have in my mind. I
Hmm.
think that's what's so powerful about the tool,
Hmm.
man. And it's transitioned to other platforms, of course, but I think YouTube is one of the key drivers.
Yeah.
One of my biggest memories, though, is me and Leland. You know, he's always been into production, so thinking about we'll be in his studio in his room watching Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy used to be having these vlogs
Yeah.
and just documenting his process, man. And that used to be one of the things we used to always watch YouTube for is seeing how Soldier Boy was moving back in the days and really being like he says the first. So
Yeah. Yeah. He don't be lying about that for real.
yeah, so those are some of the things I think about when I think 20 years ago, YouTube was established in what it is today. We talked about this before, but 20 years ago, Hurricane Katrina
Yeah.
went through the bayou, man, and did some damage, man. What you remember about that moment?
Yeah, man. I remember not really being aware of it until coming to school, like over the weekends. I'm like, damn, this really going on. And I remember the Kanye thing. The Kanye, when everybody said, but that's what really like. I was like, damn, all this junk going on. How Chris Tucker was looking, and Mike Myers, or whatever his name was, and all them dudes just looking all crazy. And I just remember seeing them images. And then once you start seeing the people, the people come in from New Orleans, that made that shit real, right? Like, dang, these dudes really done being displaced. I remember people just being idiots, asking them crazy questions and making fun. I remember like we kind of like took to them real quick. You know what I'm saying? Justin and the other guy here, we took to them boy real quick. You know what I'm saying? They started playing football and they were just cool dudes, man. I always kind of always like enamored with New Orleans anyway because of the rap culture and everything like that. So I was just happy to meet them niggas and talk to them and hear them boys talk and say all that shit and be crazy, wild, two different type of dudes. Um, but that was wild. Hurricane Katrina, yeah, that was some wild shit.
Yeah, when I think about it, I think about it. Hey, I mean, from the what happened was crazy. I always pictured when the people was on like the bridge
Yeah, them boats and shit.
in the stadium and how that the I forgot what the stadium was called back then, but where the Celtics
Superdome.
played, Superdome. I was like, man, that's some crazy stuff. And what really amplified it was the fact that that year it had been like 4 or 5 major hurricanes, right?
Right.
That came through and how much school we missed. But the fact that it never really hit Jacksonville. So
Never
like
does, bro.
I remember we was in Regency when Regency was a thing 20 years ago. Regency was a thing. But I
Yeah.
remember we
Yeah.
was in like Dillard's and the intercom came and letting us know like school was canceled in Duval County. Well, they was reading off East County and we was just waiting to hear Duval County
Word.
schools closed, and yeah, we was like, dang, we off for the whole week. And again, we up in Dillard's. So it just put it into perspective that I always took it for granted that we lived in Jacksonville when it came to hurricanes, because ain't
Right.
nothing really come through
Right.
Jacksonville. But then you can see the same thing that was headed here, did some damage like that in
Damage.
another
Yeah.
place. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I always had a healthy respect for hurricanes, but being in Jacksonville was like I never really sweated too much. So
Yeah. Yeah. Nah. Nah. It got worse now. They be having parties when hurricanes come now. For real.
I don't really know much about this, but this showed up. It said President Bush was president at the time,
Hmm.
and we were in war with Iraq.
Hmm.
I don't remember much, but that was a crazy time with the whole war with Iraq.
Yeah. 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 I remember that just because that was all also around the time of Vote or Die. So it's kind of like the whole time where they started. Vote or Die was 04, 05. 04 when he got back in. So 2004, 05, right? And I'm kind of becoming more politically aware at that time, right? Not to the nowhere near the level I am now, but just seeing, okay, how we gonna be Democrats, black people, we gonna be Democrats because they got Diddy up there. And Diddy got the Vote or Die shirts on
Yeah,
and
I feel
all the
like I
damn.
remember
And
that.
that's crazy, right? You said 20 years of Diddy or the Vote or Die, him. And then 20 years later, look who we had. Look who we had.
Oh,
Hey, it is so crazy, bro. You said it because I'm tying all this shit together. I'm going off on a tangent, right?
yeah.
The Vote or Die did it on the Democratic side, Vote or Die. Kendrick Lamar he put a song out, the Watch the Party Die. Diddy represent the Democratic Party. He going through what he going through right now, and the Democratic Party right now is in fucking shambles. Like, as far as political, they saying the Democrats don't get shit together. They might have to go change their name or do something totally different. Like that party could be dead 20 years later, based on that's Diddy and his bullshit. You know what I'm saying? He tied into it. But yeah, George Bush, I'm talking about the shoe being thrown at this dude, the weapons of mass destruction. It was so much going on behind it. I remember Eminem had put that song out, Mosh. And I remember even white folks, I remember this white boy, I don't know what his name was, but he was like, yeah, I don't like Eminem no more because of that song he put out. And I was just sitting there like, dang, like, bro, you like 15, 16 years old. Like, what do you really know about politics at 15, you 16 years old. I know us, we don't know shit. We don't know what the hell going on. But how you so
Political
engaged,
science.
huh?
Political science.
Well, I guess, but I mean, I'm just sitting there saying most 15, 16-year-olds who we hang around, even the white boys, we not talking about no politics. That ain't we ain't but this dude, like, oh yeah, I don't like Eminem no more because of that song he made going against Bush. I'm just like, damn, like that's how y'all carry it for real. We behind, you know. So yeah, that George Bush was a big thing. 04, 05, man. That was a crazy time, bro. All the way around, even like we said, the Malice at Palace, seeing that. Right? I'm trying to think who won the Super Bowl around that time. 05, I think that was the Steelers when the Steelers beat the damn Seahawks.
'05 was when the Patriots beat the Eagles in Jacksonville.
Oh no, 05. Okay, no, the next year. The next year was Seahawks. Yeah, you're right, you're right. Super Bowl, shit. Super Bowl here was 20 years ago. And
What?
that's a great transition. That's a great transition.
What?
Cause what the fuck really has changed in 20 years in Jacksonville?
I mean, infrastructure wise, it's definitely improved. So it's like, how the heck was the Super Bowl in Jacksonville, man?
And 20 years ago. Like, and we talking about now, it's a dude who going viral right now.
That's crazy.
It's a dude who going viral right now. My auntie just shit me yesterday because I was talking about how ain't nothing to do in Jacksonville. He shit on Jacksonville. Like, ain't nothing to do here, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, nigga, if you saying ain't nothing to do in Jacksonville in 2025,
What was
imagine
it?
'05. Right? Like, downtown was, but they ain't never go downtown. Like, what
It was stuff to do.
I wouldn't have known.
It was stuff to do then than it is today.
You might
The
be right. At least
infrastructure has changed, but as far as like stuff to do, it was stuff to do back then, bro.
you might be right because we had come together day.
We
The
had
land that was
everything.
the land. Yeah, you actually right. So this shit don't went what we don't went backwards.
Ah. I mean, as far as like stuff to do, I mean, it was stuff everywhere, right? Like even like when I was growing up,
The
my
teen clubs. Yeah,
yeah, teen like we
yeah,
had it was
yeah. You
like
right.
6 or 7 of them that
Yeah,
literally we can go to and it'll
yeah,
have a situation, man. And then you think about the older club, they had like Freebirds on
yeah,
South
yeah, yeah,
Side, they
yeah,
had
yeah,
Jasco by
yeah,
Regency,
yeah,
Jim's
yeah, yeah.
Place. You know what I'm saying? They
Mm-hmm.
had all these spots, man.
Yeah,
Um, even like off Golf Fair, you had the Golf Fair flea market. That
yeah, yeah,
place used to be a spot, you know.
yeah,
Even uh what's the mall? Gateway Mall, right? Like
yeah,
those are actually places you would go
yeah.
and be on the weekend or wherever it was, and
Hanging
there'll be
out.
people there. You know what I'm saying? So it was stuff going on. The landing, it was at a point it had stuff. I remember that at Club Paris, man.
Yeah,
Uh, I don't know if you remember, I came to school and I had a big old cut on my head.
nah,
Man, because we was posted up outside, me and Keem, and we left Club Paris and we were going to the Ritz because his mom was the director there. So we were going to the Ritz, man. It was one of them streets, like Ashley Street, something. It was the one literally by if you're coming from the Hart Bridge and you come down behind the jail and you're coming down to go downtown. A car was coming that way and we were coming to go to like Union Street and they hit me right on my window, T-bone, and my head hit the dash mirror dash at the front, man. I had a big old gash right here.
that's crazy. I didn't know that, bro. Because at the same time, me and Griffin leaving Club Paris. We leaving. We in the wrong lane. I tell Griffin to make an illegal turn. We get hit by an undercover cop.
It was an undercover cop.
That hit y'all?
Yeah.
Undercover cop hit us. And I told him to go. He tried to escape. This boy drove into a parking garage. That bitch slipped behind us. All you hear is get out of the fucking car, get out of the fucking car. They got gun drawn, so I'm scared as fuck because Griffin passenger side, they don't open. So I gotta get the front. And Griffin, but he bullshitting. He like, oh yeah. You know how he white boy, oh yeah, I don't have no gun. I'm like, bro, you gotta chill, bro. You gotta chill. That's crazy. I didn't know that happened to you, bro. But yeah, we both
Yeah.
got accidents. He an undercover cop. What the hell? What kind of bullshit that was?
But their car flipped over. So
Oh nah. Well, they
yeah.
hit we was in like the middle lane and supposed to turn right. So we skipped over somebody, and when we went, they hit us and shit. They got behind us and followed us to where we went at. And the police gave us a ride home and all that crazy, right? The police gave us a ride home. Like they ain't put us in cuffs. Now that would have been me and you would have been a different story.
Hey man.
Should have been a different damn story.
But yeah, the Super Bowl was in Jacksonville, man. That was an experience because again, I tell you, I was in Philadelphia, so I knew people who was from Philadelphia, so I was hanging with them. Man, we was at the Landing actually. That's where we watched the Super Bowl. So we was downtown and the whole bit. That was a
Mm.
crazy experience, man. That was a to have that Super Bowl in Jacksonville was wild to
I
me.
remember Snoop Dogg had the Super Bowl. Boy, he had Moncrief. That shit was shut down. They played rain. They played that rain. Nigga, they had that bitch shut down. You could not move. Dude, that was a wild weekend. Damn, you bring that shit up. Boy, that was a wild weekend.
That was 20
For
years ago,
real.
man.
Outside. We were 15 years old. We outside. For real.
That's why I always have this hope because I'm like, if you can blend what I experienced growing up with the new infrastructure,
Right.
the city, come on, man. The city
Bro,
was
bro, bro. We really used to be. We been going to clubs for 20 years, bro. Like we wasn't drinking back then, but we in the club atmosphere doing the same shit. And the club back then was way more fun because that's when girls and dudes dance with each other and shit. Like that fucking
yeah.
drink, I'm dancing. Like
Hey,
we everybody getting loose, you know what I'm saying? Like
hey, yeah, that used to be fun, man. What's the parties they would have where it's like bubbles and soap? What's
the
that
phone
party?
parties. The
Foam
phone
party,
party.
yeah.
Nasty as hell. We used to be in them bitches though. Them shit was nasty. We
Yeah,
used to be
they
in them
used to have
phone
those
parties, boy,
foam parties,
wildin'.
boy.
Club Roxy. Them shit used to be live.
Oh yeah, Club Roxy on
Club
Beach.
Roxy. On beach.
Yeah.
Live.
Yeah, man, it was stuff going on. So shout out to Jacksonville, Florida, man. That's crazy. Um, yeah, I didn't even think of that as a topic, for 20 years ago events, but that was a big one, man. That was a
Yeah,
big one,
man.
Super Bowl. Cool, man. So to wrap it up, you asked, biggest lessons or
20 years,
obstacles.
bro. We went from boys to men, bro. From boys to men. What is something in 20 years, well, a few things in 20 years that you've learned that maybe you didn't get 20 years ago that you got now, or you still maybe trying to figure that shit out. You know what I'm saying?
I kind of got I can probably answer a whole bunch. If I get up on a tangent, it'll just go there. But the two that come to mind, right? Like just one, the biggest lesson, and then as far as like the obstacle, I'm still trying to figure out. So the first one, how vital reading is, man. Like,
Mhm.
and I think that's something that we connect on, right? Because we both read, but it's not just like reading a book, right? Like reading a book is one thing. You can gain knowledge, you can gain information and insight to put you at an advantage, but also like reading a room, right? Reading people. Like I couldn't tell you how many times I was able to read a situation that could have saved my life, right? Or could have helped me avoid a situation or say, all right, I can see what's going on here. Let me go ahead and make the next move, right? Bust the next move. Being able to read statements, being able to read contracts, being able to read weather, right? Like just being able to read. I mean, I've been in circumstances with animals, and it was like I had to read the animal. You know what I'm saying, and understand what kind of situation is this, and how do I need to react. So just how vital reading is, and the fact that some people really don't necessarily know how to read, whether it's a book, situation, charts, financial statements, whatever it may be. So I think it's super important. That's probably one of the biggest lessons I learned just growing up. Like, all right, I got to know how to read and be able to understand situations. As far as like obstacles, the biggest one that I'm still working on to this day is that I'm the only person in my way. Like, I'm the only person in my way.
It's always right.
Like I've grown so much to not be put blame on pretty much nobody, right? Like
Right.
the two biggest people who could probably frustrate me the most are the people who live in this same house with me, right? My
Right.
my wife and my son probably piss me off the most. It's hard for the other people to piss me off because it just don't matter. Like I gotta focus on right being the best person I can be, making the best decisions. Because when I look at all my regrets or mistakes or whatever it is, it always points back to something I did, right? And taking
Right.
accountability. So just trying to do that on a day-to-day basis, realizing like if I can just overcome myself, man, like greatness is on the other side. So
Yeah.
those are two things I think about over my journey from high school to today,
Yeah.
um, that are super important.
Yeah, man. That last one definitely really. Both of them is good. Man, to read rooms and read vibrations and all stuff like that. You know, and then like you just said, you your own biggest enemy, biggest obstacle, right? For me, it's kind of like what you said, like being awareness and consciousness. Like I think about 20 years ago and up until I probably was like 22, bro. Like I used to be aloof. Like I had no self-awareness of how I may have came off to people, didn't give a fuck at all. Right?
Yeah.
Like even if you did, like I just remember like having that mentality, like this being like loud and maybe not wrong, but just loud and just like this didn't give a fuck, bro. Like that shit was a very dangerous place to be in. 'Cause I remember like at a certain point, all my homies would be like, we got to college and shit, like you know what I'm saying? They'd be like, bro, it don't matter, Marquette don't care. Like he cool with anything, he with whatever. And that shit, when you young, you're like, yeah, Marquette cool, whatever. But when you get older, you like, nigga, that's reckless. Like for you just to be with anything that go on, like, yeah, he with it, he don't give a fuck. Now it's like, nah, it's a lot of shit I'm not finna do. Like, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna move with a sense of, I guess, purpose, right?
Hmm.
And understanding and having a child is like daily purpose, right? Like, okay, you know, if anything else, you got somebody who depending on you to be alive the next day, right? Um, so just that, man, and not like I said, just not being aware how I may have the effect I may have on people, be it positive or negative. So not being more aware of that and being more conscious of what I say to people, and or if I fall into that mode of not giving a fuck, even then I'm aware that like yeah, I'm moving in this energy. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. Fuck you, you know what I'm saying? But back then it was just like that was just a default, right? Um, so that's that. What I would say, something I'm still battling is my patience, bro. Like, and my homeboy, one of my homies, it's amazing the people who will call you and tell you something. When like he a homie, but he like not like journey, right? He ain't somebody like you who I talk to all the time. We talk sparingly, but even he was like, bro, you're not patient with people. You're not patient at all with nothing. And that still fuck with me today. Like I'm still find myself in certain situations where I just move too fast, uh, or I just want to get what I want to get when I want to get it. I don't want to tell myself no. So it's like, all right, bro. Like, I've been hearing this since I was a child. I'm talking about elementary school, bro. Like going through work too fast. Like I could got 100 on the test, but I got a 98 because I missed a small detail. And that's kind of how my life going now. Where like I might miss a small detail in an interaction with somebody, or uh just in something, right? And that can just throw everything off kilter. So that's being more patient. I mean, just submitting, not even really being, it's just submitting to patience. Like nigga, be patient. Stop going so damn fast at everything you do. And it's just hard for me to do that, bro. I don't know if it's me being the Aries side of me, like conquering that shit. It's the quick, no, what is it? Be it say like be quick to listen and slow to anger or something like that. One of the scriptures, like they're slowing down, but I gotta slow the hell down, bro. So it's like to the point where, bro, I don't had to like, I gotta force myself to get in the slow lane. Cause I look down, I'm doing 95. Like I'm sliding. I mean, one time
In a
y'all was,
what?
huh?
In what speeding zone?
I'm on. I don't even know what speed. I'm on the highway. You know, the speed limit on 95 is 70. I'm doing 95, just hitting it. I'm not even paying no attention. Just sliding. Not because like I'm in a rush. That's just I'm pedal to the metal. I'm moving. So just be patient, Marquez. That's what I gotta do. Be patient. That shit hard. Shit hard.
No, that's a great one. I'm patient in certain areas. So I'm less patient with myself, more patient with other people. I don't know how that works, but like if it's something that I have control of, I'm not patient with it. But if it's something that other people have more influence on the situation, I could be more patient because simply I don't have control of the situation. So I try not to stress myself out over that type of situation. But if I got control over it, I'm very impatient and that costs me in a lot of different scenarios because like you said, just take your time, bro.
My daughter is the only one I'm patient with. Like I told you that she's sick. She threw up. Like I can learn something lesson dealing with her, but it's just like dealing with adults. I don't have no patience for adults. Like, and that's a bad thing because like I be figuring that everybody know what I know or see shit how way I see. I'm like, bro, get your shit together. Let's get the fuck on. But that ain't really right. You know what I'm saying? But
Man,
Like that
I
shit really, like I said, I love my life, but that shit be costing me, bro. My patience, like not being patient, that shit done cost me a lot, and that shit still be costing me. Like it still be costing me. Like damn, why did I do this shit?
but
Shit,
at least
crazy.
you know what you got to work on, man.
Right, right.
So that's a positive. I something that you just popped into my head. How I recognize like, all right, I don't say like I live a different life, but there's certain things that I shouldn't expect people to be aware of or know. Kind of, I forgot how you just said it, but you be expecting people to know what you know, so to
Right.
speak, right? My middle school, James Weldon, first day of school, man. Mind you, I'm coming from whatever you people call it, the South Side. I call it east of Arlington, right? Like I grew up east of Arlington, and middle school, I'm in Kings Road,
You
and
in the hood. You in
yeah,
the
I'm
hood.
like, you got Edward Waters College, you got Jenkins Barbecue, you got Popeyes, you
In the middle
got
of the shit.
basketball practice, you got Edward Waters coming in there. I'm like, where am I at? You know what I'm saying? But I had actually just came from Charlotte that morning. So we went to the islands for 2 weeks. And the plane that we caught landed at like midnight in Charlotte, and we had, or maybe Savannah, Georgia, and we had to drive home from Georgia to Jacksonville. We got home maybe 3 a.m. I had to be up 2 hours later to then head out to the first day at James Weldon, bro. I remember I had the red and white Iversons that had the zipper, and
I got almost upstairs.
it was
Put them doing
back
that.
then you had to wear, as James Weldon my first year, you had to wear uniforms.
Like, y'all lame.
Yeah. So you had to wear like khaki pants, and you can wear like a blue, a white, or a red polo shirt. So I had a red polo, I had the khaki pants with the red and white Iversons, man. And when they were like, "Hey, what did y'all do for summer?" That's how they icebreaker or whatever. And I'm hearing people like didn't even go nowhere for the summer.
Yeah, I
You know
damn
what I'm
sure didn't.
saying? Like didn't go nowhere for the summer. And I'm like, man, I just got off a plane and came to school. So I was like, all right, I shouldn't expect people just went all over the world or wherever, man. It just opened my eyes like, all right, I had more awareness around that. So that was long-winded to go nowhere. But shout out to you, man. Patience is a great call. I'm working on that too. I'm working on being a dad, figuring that out, being a husband. And almost 8 years in, I'm still trying to figure that out.
Yeah, I fucked that one up. I fucked that one up. I had to pull the plug on that. Like, I can't do this right now.
Yeah,
But hey, even in that space, I'm like, damn. I be like, I should have been more patient in that whole little thing. You feel me? But yeah, man, big life changing shit, man. Patience. You got to be patient. Anybody listening to this, man, be patient, bro. Like, stop rushing.
yeah. Well,
Like, this shit ain't going nowhere for real.
I mean, it's flying, time flying. But if you just stack the days, man, the day's gonna come regardless. So just try to stack them in a
Stack.
positive way, man. So. Well, it was good reminiscing, man. 20 years in, we did a little different this episode. A lot more focused on just our experiences growing up over the past 20 years. It's been a heck of a ride. It's a lot of memories. A lot of it I don't remember, man. So I just try to journal nowadays because I'm like 20 years. A lot happens in 20 years, man. So
Yeah, right.
live life, y'all, and hit the like button. Subscribe, hit the comments, man, and we'll be back talking about game one and the rest of this final series as we move forward. Man, I
Yeah.
forgot to talk about the Jaguars.
Ain't,
Ooh,
ain't
we.
talk about. Ain't talk about. Ain't shit changed much there. Ain't shit changed
Hey,
much there. 20 years.
hey, we balling. But
20
we'll
years
talk about
ago, they
them.
was bullshitting. They bullshitting now.
Nah, we'll talk about them as we move forward. Shout out to the Jaguars. Shout out, man. They killing it.
Jaguars made the Madden cover this year. Shout out to the Jaguars.
Watch out, man. Watch out.
Bums.
Watch out. Watch out. All right,
Ah.
man. Well, we'll catch y'all next week. It's Across the Bridge. We out.